get up. It's a different type of grind right now, man.
Absolutely.
And my son, you know, he all the way in it now. So.
Oh yeah, what's he doing?
He's a producer.
Producer. Okay.
Yeah.
What you both on?
Oh man, Lil Avery, like.
How old is he now,
Y'all
bro?
gonna want him on the show. He 24.
24? Wow.
We built the studio in the bottom, man. Avery probably do about, I would say he average about 10, 15 different clients a week.
Oh wow, he doing his thing.
Like, yeah. I mean, he grind. I took him down to Patchwork, and Buddy was like, man, you working more than we are. He said, man, you got more clients. He said, man, every time somebody come in, they're like, man, you work with Lil Avery. He's like, yeah.
We gotta talk about a little bit of that on the show.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get him on, man.
For real.
He doing his thing.
Yeah, he's back. You feel me? Bro, you get when y'all get this big ass check, bro. You feel me? Remember the little niggas, you feel me?
Hey man, you gonna be right next to a nigga.
Right there, man. You gonna be right there.
Right beside a nigga.
Hey, we need to get in that today because there's a whole lot of people be saying that, but you know.
Hey,
we serious.
We on camera. We on camera right now. That's a verbal contract.
Day ones, man. They coming along, man.
You already know.
I ain't the type to leave my people behind, man.
Yeah, nah, never been.
Nah.
We gon' ride.
Some got something to say. Hey, some got something to say. We hustle, we grinding away. Tomorrow ain't promised today. That's why we gon' shine in your face. This song got something to say. This song got something to say. This song got something to say. This song got something to say.
We good. We back. You already know it's your boy. It's the homie. Wise Guy Q, the mouth of the South.
And it's your boy, MD Uno, Mr. Free Game, coming with a bunch of free game.
Free game?
Yes, sir.
You know.
And we got a special guest in the building today.
Special.
My man, Avery Johnson, A1, man.
The man behind the man.
The man behind the man.
That's
not
who you
the
know.
Man standing next to the man, the man.
The man behind the man, that's who we call the plug.
The plug.
You already know.
Producer, engineer, worked with several entertainment industry professionals, live musician, player. Hey man, A1, why we got you in here?
This is family right here.
Yeah, this is family, man. Absolutely. Like he go back to when I was 14. I remember meeting him at the church that I was going to. That's where I met Q as well. And you know, I always remember it stand out to me. One day the pastor, Bishop Mary D, gave him a word and she was telling him how something big was about to happen. And that was before the Bone Crusher thing took place.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and something big definitely happened, man. He's the producer behind the Never Scared instrumental, has worked with artists like India Arie on her project Acoustic Soul. Shared the stage with artists from Stevie Wonder to Whitney Houston. A1, man, for the people out there that don't know, tell us a little bit about you, your background, how you got started in music.
I mean, I got started in music, man. You know, my dad, he was a drummer. He played with this blues singer, Lattimore. You know, they used to rehearse at the house, so I've been around music my whole life, man. I just kind of came up through that. And, man, just... It seems so long ago now.
Yeah.
You know, but man, once you get bit by the bug, you know it when you're a little kid, you know. I've seen it in both of y'all, man. Once you get bit,
once you get bit, it ain't nothing you can do when that bug gets you, man. Yeah, like
I started playing drums, then I started playing guitar. Next thing I know, I'm playing guitar at the church. Then the next thing I know, I'm playing bass at the high school, little jazz band.
What instrument don't you play?
I played a little bit of everything, but then I got into that, and then next thing I know, I went to college, kept playing. Then I moved to Nashville after that, and just started working, man. You know, just started working, and doing my thing, man. Playing a little live music, playing a little studio sessions, working with artists in there, and you know that.
What was your first like mainstream or you know first gig in the music industry? Like, what was your first opportunity? Like, what would you say was your first big opportunity that came along?
Probably. I started when I moved to Nashville. I started working with this guy had a TV show, Bobby Jones.
Okay, yeah, that's the BET.
Yeah.
Bobby Jones show.
Yeah, I met a bunch of dudes on that show. Then somebody told me BeBe CeCe Winans had an audition.
Word.
One of the MDs used to come and watch the band that I was playing in.
Okay.
And so he talked to me and he's like, "Hey man, you know, blase, we might want you to do something." Then we went to audition, and then next thing I know, he called me for that.
And you went on tour with BeBe and CeCe.
Went on tour with them.
That lasted for like 3 years, huh?
Yep, 3 years of doing that, meeting everybody. But you know, I had met a lot of people through that Bobby Jones show too. You know, I did a lot of that, so
okay.
And that was playing the bass guitar, right?
Playing the bass guitar.
Yeah, you funky with that bass, man.
You know,
that right there bring the funk to the song.
I try to make it do what it do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What made you stick with the bass out of everything?
I just liked it, but you know what? I didn't like the bass that much, but I was good at it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like really, I like the drums like that, but I could never get off the drums because we always needed a bass player. So
right.
when I was start a little band with my cousin. And you know,
Avery still play the drums?
Yeah, he still play a little bit. He more production though now.
Oh,
my son, he more doing that. But I don't know, man. It just I could never get off of it. You know, every time I was like, man, I want to get back to the drums. Everybody's like, nah, man, I like how you play the bass.
Play that bass, man.
So that's what it is.
Yeah, man, this production, man. I heard somebody in the interview say, I can't even remember who it was the interview. That was like that Bone Crusher, Never Scared. That's the song that changed the whole wave of music in the game and gave the South that push when we took over the game, and we never gave it back after that.
That was a huge record, man.
Yeah, that was your production right there.
I think that was top 10 on the hip hop and R&B charts.
Especially the remix on that thing.
Yeah.
You know what? Like, I don't even know what to say now. I mean, you know, I used to say that to cats, man, but I would say, hey, man, you know, I think that one record, you know, we made it way back in the day. I think that kind of opened up the door. But when I said it, everybody was like, nah, I don't know if that record was. And,
right.
You know, now you got other people saying that. I'm like, oh, okay. So
that was a big record, bro. Yeah.
How did you meet Bone Crusher?
I met Bone. I was playing in this band called the Chronicles.
Okay.
So we used to work down there on 3rd and Spring. We played a little club called Yin Yang.
Okay.
So like a little small. We had sort of a band like the Roots type band. So everybody, you know, during that time we was working with Goodie Mob, the guys from Outkast.
Word.
Even Usher. Usher was a little kid then, but he
come
in and sat in with us. And Bone Crusher was the cook.
He was the cook?
He was a cook out there.
Okay.
And so every once in a while, somebody had told us, well, we had an open mic. And they was like, hey, man, the cook want to come up. And I said, well, you know, we always like, man, whatever, come on then.
Right.
And he got on the stage, he rocked the mic, had a good time. We stayed in touch.
Dope.
You know, and as he got better, I just kept telling him, I said, man, we're going to have to do something sometime. And then he would say that to me, and he was in a group, I think called Lyrical Johns at that time, and I don't know, I just kept telling him, I was like, man, I want to do something with you sometime. So we just talked about it, and eventually it happened.
So how did the Never Scared the beat come along? Was he there? Was he a part of that process? Was he there when you actually produced it, or was it something that you just presented to him?
Actually, yeah, I just presented it to him. Like, we talked about it, and we talked about doing something. We could never make it happen.
Right.
You know, the group was in between deals and all of that. So, some kind of way, he ended up moving out there by me, like where I was staying that time. Yeah. So,
So we
could just walk to each other's house. You know, we right down the street.
Right.
And he came over one day and he said, "Hey man, I'm ready to do something, you know,
yeah.
for myself." And I was like, "Oh, okay, well we gotta do it."
Straight up.
You know what I mean? So really the beat, man, I hate to even say this, but it probably took me about 15 minutes.
Straight up, bro.
Yeah, like 15
That's how
minutes.
I be
like
with
that.
them ones,
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
Dang.
I just walked down there. I started messing around with something.
Got straight to it.
Got straight to it because we had did a session.
Got paid.
You remember that? Because his partner was David Banner.
Yeah.
So we were working with David Banner, and Banner had just brought in Lil Jon.
Yeah.
And they had this record. It kind of, you remember that record Ball and G had? Something like Get Your Car Shot Up.
Yeah,
So
get
we
your
did
dog kid.
Yeah, so we did that with David Banner out there with
Okay.
Lil Jon. And I think Bone Crusher was like Lil Jon's bodyguard.
Oh yeah.
Something like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And he was a artist too. He was looking at doing something with Bone, but then he did something with I think China White
Right.
before then. And so, you know, I kind of got his permission. I was like, "John, you know, is it cool, man? I'm thinking about doing it." He was like, "Yeah, man, go
Right,
ahead,
right.
man, do whatever." You know, because John cool like that, man.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
good- He good people.
Okay.
For sure.
And so, next thing we know, man, I did something, like I said, 15 minutes. He went on the road with John. He came back. He said, "Man, let me hear it."
Yeah.
You know, so I played it for him. He was like,
Mm-hmm.
he said, "Man, you ain't did this." I said, "I did do it." He's like, "Nah, man, come on, man. You know you ain't did this." I said, "Okay, I mean, if you don't want to use it, you ain't got to use it." He's like, "No, I ain't say that." He
Right.
said, "I
That
got
beat
it."
used to tear the club up when that beat came on.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
that
like,
was it,
I really didn't
That was
even
one
know.
of them ones right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, I didn't know it was like that.
And
A
you
banger,
one
bro.
of
It
the
was
main reasons to this day that I love 808s in my beats so much. Like
Yeah, man.
I can't stand 909
And I had the
like
pleasure.
keep them
Yeah,
away
yeah,
from me. It gotta be 808s in my beat, and every beat, I don't care what kind of beat it is, I'm putting
Alright.
808s in it.
And I had the pleasure of doing a record with A1, man. What year was that? That was probably like
Man,
back
I
in
can't even remember.
08,
It was- yeah, it been
I used to be
08,
so
09.
jealous.
Yeah,
I couldn't get an A1 beat from that. He was
I
always
was happy. I was amped at the opportunity. It was after the
Yes.
Never Scared record. I came on the track. I was like, win Mookie on the A1 track. Bone Crusher, Never Scared. You know the one who made that.
Yeah.
Win. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I could never get no A1 beat, man. He used to always make me make the beats.
Man,
You know what I mean?
But your own beats.
I know,
You don't need
yeah.
Your own beats. His beats were hot
You
already.
you
Right.
the main reason why I'm good at what I do right now to this day. You started me, you helped train me, you know what I mean? Showed me how to do what to do, you know what I mean? What needs to be done.
I appreciate it, man. But you know what?
Yeah.
You always had that fire, man. You always had that energy. You know what I'm saying? You can tell when you meet somebody. You
Yeah.
know, like us be saying they want to do it,
Right.
but you know they ain't really got that.
I used to
That
be jealous though, man.
drive.
Like God, rest in peace, Nicodemus go straight.
Nicodemus go straight.
I used
R.I.P.
that shade tree used to drop when he used to perform that thing,
yeah,
man. That shade tree and that major. I was like, oh man, I wish I had one of them beats, man.
Oh, man, stop.
And I was trying to get that's what I was always aiming towards, get my beats to hit like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's dope. I ain't know he inspired you like that. That's what's
For
up.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, but you don't work with people like Silk and India Arie and I don't know. Tell us a little bit about your resume, man. You know, people don't know you the man behind the man.
I mean, really, you know, like I tell everybody, man, you got to come up with people. Like
Right.
everybody think now that it's all about catching somebody when they own and they give you an opportunity.
Right.
But really, you ain't gonna get no opportunity till you create pressure on what they do. You know, so it's really more about just coming up with your people. Like I said, when I
Coming
met
up
Bone,
together.
you know, Bone was a cook. When I met India Arie was she worked at Chick-fil-A. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
Like,
Word.
That's dope.
Wow.
that's how you come up, man.
Yeah,
And still, you know, I met Lil G when I was on Bobby Jones.
But it's about having the eye and the ear too, would you say?
Yeah, you gotta have that, but in order to have that, it's like you gotta kind of keep the noise away from you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because you know everybody be looking at the billboards and they be looking at all this stuff, and you know all that's marketing. Like you can pay money to do all of that.
So just building genuine relationships and coming up with
relationship, and you got to say, okay, can this person sing? Can this person rap? Can this person? And I'm not talking about what your manager's not saying. I'm not talking about how many followers you got on Instagram. I'm talking about if me and you go in this room and I just hear you, is it good or is it bad?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Straight up.
And after that, we know what it is. I'm not saying that everything is about talent, and it ain't about followers, because that might be what you're good at. You might just be good at getting followers and having a good story.
Say that. That's true.
And I'm good with that too. It's like whatever, but whatever it is, it need to be the truth. Like
Straight
it don't
up.
need to be a lie.
Man, talk about it. It need to be the truth.
You trying to tell me what you're doing? I'm like, nah, I can see what you're doing. Like if you do it, you do it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta tell me what you do. I see what you do, and if I can't see what you do, you know, everybody think that it's relationship, but it's not the relationship that you think. It's not, oh, I'm gonna do a favor for you. No, I done put so much pressure on you, you gonna do it, because we did Never Scared, you know, Bone didn't even have no deal.
Word.
He didn't even have no record deal.
Damn. It's your boy MD Uno live with the We Good podcast.
And it's Wise Guy Q, and you know we stay good, baby. And if you a pie head like me, then you need to listen up real quick. Finna tell you about some in these streets. We call it crack pies.
Home of the sweet potato pies. It's the crack for me.
Hey man, it ain't just sweet potato pie, it's sweet potato cheesecake pies, bro.
Yeah, man.
How they do that?
Man,
I don't know, man, but it's the official sponsor of the We Good podcast. Go to Crack Pies on all your social media networks. So if you got that sweet tooth, then we have your addiction, you know what I mean? So tell them what to do, Mook.
Go to www.crackpies.com, and that's crack with a K.
Or you can contact us at 1-833-89-CRACK with a K. You know what I mean? And don't forget, we're your neighborhood dessert dealers. It's the crack for me.
It's the crack for me.
Get at 'em.
This crack shit that's got me, man. I don't got no control over it, man. I should just be calling me, man. I just gotta go to it.
Yeah.
Dirt Town Sound, the epitome of We Good music.
Got beats. It's your boy Wise Guy Q, the mouth of the South, and we good, baby. You know what I mean? If you need them beats, go to www.wiseguyq17th.com. That's www.wiseguyqthe17th.com. You know what I mean?
Don't forget the YZ.
Beats go hard.
Beats go stupid. Dirt Town Sound, baby. Anyway, so how did T.I. end up on the track? Who else was on that record? Was it just Tip? I don't remember.
To be honest,
man, they had about 8 different.
No, I'm talking about the original.
The original.
Killer Mike.
Killer Mike and T.I.
Yeah,
was on the original. So I think Bone knew Killer Mike.
Okay.
And T.I. came in. We were basically trying to get Pastor Troy.
Oh yeah.
That's who originally, when I had the idea for it, that's who I wanted.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because I didn't know T.I.
Right.
And so Pastor Troy was so big though. After that record, we were ready. I mean,
we ready.
Big. So he was doing so much. We couldn't really. We couldn't get him because he was just in and out and moving. And then Bone told me, he said, "Man, we need to, we need to get." And I said, "Who?" He said, "Man, I bet we could get Tip." And at that time, I was like, "Who is Tip?" He was like, T.I. I said, "Man, I don't know him. I ain't
That's
never
when
heard
he
of
was just coming
He
up.
was just coming out. I think he had one record or something.
Yeah.
He did
okay.
That
was right around when that I'm Serious didn't do it like they thought it was going to do.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, my man was over at LaFace, KP.
KP.
So KP had told me about him, but only because we went to traffic court.
That's crazy.
So speed tickets or something, and he had told me about him just real briefly. And then when Bone said his name, for some reason it didn't trigger to me that it was the same guy. And so then Bone called him, and he said, I'm gonna be at the studio at 3:30 in the morning. And you know, and at many times we already been waiting on Pastor Troy. I was like, man, this dude ain't gonna show up, man. I ain't doing that.
Right.
You know what I mean? But hey, 3:30, ding.
Showed up.
He showed up. He came in. First thing he said to me was like, he said, man, if I don't like the beat, I ain't gonna do it. So already, you
said
know,
that?
yeah. So already,
Tip
me
said
and him
that.
was Tip said it. So already, me and him was like,
It sounded like some Tip shit.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm kind of looking at him like little short dude, like, oh, okay.
Right.
I'm looking at Bone like, this your man, but you know, already, I don't want to use it, you know, from the jump. And we started. I hit play. He heard it. He said,
let's go.
He said, man, I think I got something for that right now.
Alright.
I was like, all right, go on in there. Booth.
We stop this boy. This A1, nigga.
That's it. I hit record, and I'm sitting there hating. You know, I'm already ticked off because what he said. So I'm like, man, you know, I'm sitting back like, man, we ain't gonna use this. And he came in with that line. What is it?
No,
I'll take your cookies.
Yeah.
As soon as he said that, I'll take your cookies. I looked over Bone. I was like,
okay.
I might be gonna use this for real. You might be right.
Yeah.
That was it, man.
It went off with that, yeah.
We just had a what you was gonna say?
I'm Serious was slept down though. I'm Serious was actually
I'm
hard.
Serious was hard, but that was a label. They dropped the ball with the label, whatever you know they had going on. Yeah, because the project was it was ill. It was crazy.
Yeah, man. I love them, man.
Yeah.
Toomp too, man. I love Toomp.
Yeah, shout out Toomp. Toomp be going hard with the beats too. We just had a artist on here a few weeks back named Jigs. He had a few beats from Toomp on a couple of projects, and them things was so hard. I was like, man, Toomp still going hard.
Yeah, we just did a interview with an artist called Just Call Me Vito, and he was telling us about a situation that he stumbled upon where his business wasn't in order, and ended up having to change his name behind some crazy situation that he was telling us about. What was the on the business front? What was the talk about spreadsheets and all of that?
I mean, you know, I came up, like I said, I came from Nashville before I got over here, so I had the advantage of knowing the business side of it. Like I worked with some older white dudes that had publishing companies and all of that. So they had told me, hey, this is how the split go. This is publishing. I knew everything when I got here.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
I think the thing that people don't understand is, even though you know it, you ain't got to tell everybody you know it. You just got to wait till it's time to sign the contract.
Straight up.
And then, you know, put in the work first. Make sure you got something good. But never scared.
Yeah, because that'll scare people off, too.
It'll scare people off. People don't want to work. They don't want you coming in with the split sheet the first day talking about this. You know, they want to talk about the music.
Absolutely.
And get it going. And make sure the relationship cool. Make sure, you know what I mean, you ain't going to make nobody mad. And, you know, the vibe is good. So, once everything is cool, I tell them, just don't sign nothing. Don't do nothing.
Right.
Don't do nothing in the beginning. Don't do all of that. See what it's gonna do is, you know, with Never Scared, I was fortunate because as it started to grow, it got so big that probably what people would normally do and the rights and all of that, what they would normally get, I think we went with Jermaine Dupri.
Okay.
Shout out to Jermaine Dupri, man. He was
shout out JD.
Yeah, JD was
so tough.
JD was fair, and you know he was good. Like he didn't try to take nothing. He didn't try to do anything. Like everything was cool with it. And the thing I learned from that situation is the bigger you let the record get.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody know what it is.
Straight up.
You ain't got to discuss it.
Exactly.
It's like, hey,
I know that record.
Once it gets to a certain point, if you wait or you blow it up yourself, like y'all got this podcast now,
right?
Obviously, you know, when as it grows, it's y'all's.
Yeah.
And so if they sleep on you, then that's on them.
Right.
But it's a different conversation when we get to the table, because it's like, hey, it's already going now. You know what you could have got it from, what you could have signed
yesterday's price.
It's not today's price.
It's not today's price at all. So you know what it is. It's like, hey,
right.
You know, so with that record, we were fortunate. It got to that point, and it was the same thing. Like, they said, well, you know, what's the split gonna be? I was like, split gonna be what the split is. Like,
right.
You be all right.
Straight up.
You know, and that's what it was.
Yeah.
And to everybody's credit, everybody was cool with that. You know?
That's what's up. That's what's up.
And
the way that it was supposed to go.
Yeah, I encourage every guy to just get your grind in, put your time in, and you know, I'm not telling you not to copyright your music. I'm not telling you not to protect it. Yeah, you have to protect it. You have to get all that stuff straight.
Mm-hmm.
But the split sheets and all of that, if you got a hit, I can tell you right now, anybody that's out there pushing somebody, they spending a lot of money to make it go.
Mm-hmm.
So if you already going,
oh
yeah, they'll jump off their thing and it's quick.
Straight up.
And go to the thing that's going, because everybody want to eat, and the only way you're going to eat is if that record is winning.
Right.
You know, that's the only way anybody is going to eat, and nobody's going to stop something that's already winning.
Straight up.
Be stupid.
Yeah.
So we don't do that.
Yeah, man. Tell me about what was it like gracing the stage with Whitney Houston, man?
I mean, you know, man, when I met Whitney, I think she came when I was playing bass with BeBe CeCe Winans. She came out and she knew that.
Rest in peace, Whitney Houston.
Yeah,
R.I.P. Whitney.
Her,
much love.
Her, I loved her. I love, you know, Bobby too, man. Bobby's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so,
Bobby.
Yep. And I think she came out to a show or something, but she was so big at the time, she couldn't go anywhere. It's like she couldn't even walk out in public. So she came up with us. I think she sang background or something, like on stage.
Background?
Yeah, just so people would know who she was.
Right.
Like, just so she could get out and walk around, you know what I mean? And so we did the thing with her, and I met her, and she was the biggest star in the world at that time. But I do remember how down she was, because
she was cool, huh?
Yeah, at the time when when you're a musician, man, with big artists like that, you making some money, but at the end of the day, the musician is like the janitor on the tour. You know what I mean? Like, that's the lowest, really. That's the lowest you can get. You know, writers, they making money going out to the mailbox.
Yeah.
Making what you gonna make riding that bus.
Tell me that back in the day. I just like walk out to the mailbox.
Yeah, they walk out to the mailbox and they go back to writing and producing.
Mailbox money.
Straight up.
Yeah, they got it like that. So I just remember she was very nice and down.
Man.
You know, like got through with the gig. She was like, you know, where y'all going? What y'all doing?
What's wrong?
So, you know, good people, man.
Yeah, I did hear she was a real down-to-earth person.
Oh, man, she was great.
Yeah. And I'm working with like Gladys Knight and everybody, man. Yeah, that's
Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder. Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
Stevie, man. Stevie used to come out and sing with us, and he would come on stage. And after you get to know him, like, Stevie is crazy, man. So
what you mean?
Oh, man, we played, I forget the name. Maybe it was Disney World or something, but some kind of way we ended up going to the amusement park.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when you start a tour, that's how they get you ready. They'll put you on a little amusement park, like Six Flags.
Right.
Disney, you know, something that ain't too high profile. So you just kind of get the show together. So we used to do the shows out there. We went out to California, and Stevie came out to the show, started hanging out. Then we went to the amusement park with him, because, you know, them guys, they so rich, they can rent out the amusement park.
Right.
And so got to know him just a little bit, and he would come up and sing, you know, like sing a song with us or something that we're doing. And so he came out one show, and I sort of started to know him a little bit.
Right.
And, you know, as people helped him on the stage, you know, he's walking, he came up to me, and he was like, "This Avery?" And I was like, yeah, you know, and he said, yeah, man. He said, man, I like that shirt you got on. I said, oh, man, I appreciate it, man. You know,
I always wanted
yeah, he was like, I can't see, man. I don't know what you. I said, man, this dude that got me, man. I was sitting there describing it. I'm talking about all the colors.
Right.
You know.
That's dope, man. That's all right. You get to see a little bit of
Stevie
personality. Shouts out to the legend, man, Stevie Wonder. Yeah.
What you think about music these days? Like how it is now?
I mean,
you rocking with it?
I'm rocking with it. Like it's just a different game.
Yeah.
Every time, the game is always changing.
Always.
You know, and it's always.
But it always come back around some kind of way too.
Everything come around, but. You know, I think what a lot of people miss is that it's just everything got its heyday. Everything has its heyday, and then everything is going to evolve into something else, and you got to be a part of it evolving. When we did Never Scared, we did that on Pro Tools. Right. This is 2002.
Right.
You know, we did India's first record. That was on Pro Tools.
Okay.
Man, when I called, you know, she called the label and she was like, I'm gonna work with this guy and he ain't got no tape machine. He ain't got no big old board.
Yeah.
Like what?
Just a computer.
Just a computer?
Noodle, yeah.
Yeah, they was like, nah, man, I don't know about that.
Right.
So, Kadar Massenberg, who was the head of Motown at that time, he came to my house, you know, to see it, which that's a whole nother story. But you
niggas used to have a board just for show.
Yeah,
right,
all of that.
Right.
So we, you know, when you at the forefront of technology, people don't really know what it is yet, and the industry moves slow. So they the last ones to really figure out what it is. All they do is just ask questions and know what's happening, what they've been doing.
Yeah.
So he came, he listened to it. I think we had just did Brown Skin.
Okay.
Yeah, we had just
I love yo.
Yeah. We had just played that, and he listened to it.
Yeah.
You know, and he listened to it. I saw his head moving.
Okay.
You know? And after that, he said, "Man, hey," he said, "Is all ever gonna sound like this?" And I was like, "Pretty much." Like, you know, that's the only way I know how to record it. You know what I mean? So he's like, "Okay." He said, "Well, we good."
Sound better.
Yeah. He said, "We good.
We can do this. We can do this."
Yeah, he said, "We can do this." And I remember he was getting ready to leave that big stretch limo, which, you know, I ain't gonna say we lived in the hood, but it was very close to the hood. So I was already feeling funny about, you know, this dude coming out in a stretch.
Yeah.
And, you know, probably was a couple little stick-up kids in my neighborhood. You know what I mean? I was like, I don't know about this, bro, but he said, I'm gonna tell you one thing. He said, just remember this, man. He said, Motown was started in the house.
Yeah.
He said, so you good.
Straight up.
And he got in the car and left.
That's all right.
And that was good. After that, man, we knew everything was okay, you know, and we knew we were at the forefront. And I actually did, Bone Crusher lived next to me, so the organ, a friend let me borrow like an actual real B3 organ for that song. And I remember it was so heavy, Bone Crusher had to help us move the organ in the house. He was the only one strong enough to lift. Like, you know, we got like 3-4 dudes on one side.
Right.
Bone Crusher
on one side. Like, you know what I mean? But he helped us get it downstairs. And, you know, like they say, the rest is history. I mean, after that.
That's what's happening.
So you like the direction that music is headed in right now?
I mean, I'm cool with it, man, because the thing I love about it is so much independence. You know, when we started,
it's moving away from all the authenticity, the live authenticity.
I mean, it's moving away
digital.
It's moving away from that. It's moving more digital. But you know, I'm old, so I remember when hip hop first came in, and people were saying, you know, this music ain't gonna last because we ain't got live drummers.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, but it's still doing its thing. My hand's still moving, you know. Like I don't know, man. You know, that's like, but it ain't got real bass on it. I said, yeah, but it's still
got a vibe to it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. You know, so today, you know, even when I listen to, you know, my son is, you know, he into all of that, but when I hear it, sometimes I'll be like, yeah, but it still got a little bop to it, man. Like,
Straight
I don't
up.
know. As long as it still got that, as long as it's, you still talk about something that people care about,
Mm-hmm.
you know, as long as you're an artist, people care about them. I mean, I run into people all the time that they think talent is everything. But at the end of the day,
Mm-hmm.
if you didn't have no talent, right?
Right.
Like if you didn't know nothing about music, if you didn't know nothing about nothing,
Mm-hmm.
what would make you like something?
Mm.
What would make you like it? First thing you're going to do is, what's the title?
Right.
Well,
What's it
anybody, you know, if you work at Kroger, you know what the title is. You know whether or not it's a good title. You know whether or not you care about it. You know whether or not it's going to affect your life.
called? Right.
So, at the end of the day, that's Tupac. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? That's what it is. It's like, whether you know he can rap or not, you know what he's saying is for real.
Straight up.
You know what he's saying is a title you care about.
Yeah.
So that's music. Like,
Yeah.
if you ain't got that, pretty much you ain't got no music. So when music stops having that, it ain't gonna work.
Right.
But as long as it's got that, it's always gonna be something, and you got to figure out what that is. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Back in the day, hey, we was talking about rims. Okay, well,
Yeah, things definitely changed. Like
Things changed.
we was talking about in our last interview, we was having like everything moving towards this metaverse thing and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And I was saying Timberland on his IG, he's talking about he only making beats in the metaverse. I'm like, so what? You selling beats in the metaverse? Or let me get out and put me on to that. You know?
yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy
Or
with
you
this
gonna get
metaverse
left
stuff.
left behind if we don't catch. You know what I mean? Catch
I
up
mean,
because
you
we
can always
already.
be left behind because,
Yeah,
like I
man.
say, everything has a heyday.
It's your boy MD Uno.
And this wise guy killed the mouth for the South. Give him some free game, huh?
A little bit of free game for you, man. Hey, the Righteous Grind Academy. Financial literacy. All your financial literacy needs for the youth.
Yeah, we created financial literacy cards on digital download. All you gotta do is go to
RighteousGrindAcademy.com.
teaching the youth financial literacy. Things you're gonna need to grow up in this society and be your own person, individual. Get that righteous grind.
Get that Righteous Grind. Got the $10 downloads for your financial literacy needs.
We
good.
good.
We good. We good.
Yeah.
We
good.
good.
Alright. Hey man, say man.
Say, man.
Look, check this out. If you got them bars,
If you got them vocals,
shit, if you got both, then you definitely what we looking for. Tap into that bars and vocal showcase.
it's a new platform to bring out the best talent, whether artists or producers.
Hey man, get at that bars and vocal showcase. Go to wegood.events and go sign up for the bars and vocal showcase. If you got them bars,
And if you got them vocals,
if you got both, then get at us.
get at us.
We good.
We stay good.
I'm old, so I was a kid. I came up in the 70s, so
Right.
in the 70s, that was the heyday of music.
Mm.
And so
Yeah,
when I say the
absolutely.
heyday of music, I mean, you got to understand, a lot of money is being spent now. So the heyday now, it's like if you talk to somebody that's around video games,
Mm-hmm.
you talk to somebody that invented social media, Facebook, you talk to somebody that invented Amazon, it's their heyday. Like, this is their heyday. So
yeah.
you got to know
Right.
that you either going to be a part of that heyday or you're going to be a part of the thing that adapts after that heyday.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So you just got to figure out, like, am I going to be the cell phone or am I going to be the phone booth?
Straight
And ain't no
up.
more phone booths out here.
There ain't no more
Yeah,
phone
I'm
booths. So
telling
if
you. I'm
you
telling
in the phone booth business, you know what I mean? That thing don't move, man.
You gotta
It ain't gonna-
move with the times.
And a lot of times when you're doing it, you don't understand that you the phone booth because everything is so good. You can be blinded by that. You're like, man, we doing it, man.
Yeah.
Man, phone booths everywhere, man.
Right.
And somebody come in and say, yeah, but don't you think they'd rather make a call from the car? Like, just,
straight up.
You don't think that's a good idea? No, man, we make money off the phone booths. And then all of a sudden, all of a sudden you wake up and
car phone.
You out of business. That's how all of it works. That's how everything works.
Speaking of cell phones, right? That was appropriate. That was appropriate.
You already know.
You know what I'm saying?
And they gonna get their money. Their cell phones, but iPhone come out with a new phone every year.
Every year,
bro.
Right.
I mean, I saw that in music. My man came in and same thing. Like
new MPCs keep coming out.
He had an idea. Like, hey, he had an idea. He wanted to have MP3s. It's like, man, we can move music like that. But at the time in music that I was in, it was all about CDs.
Yeah.
CD sales was the biggest thing in the world. So everybody making money. But when a dude walks in and says, hey man, you don't think people wouldn't like to just hit this button? And they ain't gotta go to the store, they ain't gotta do all of that. I'm just telling you, if you're in this game, you better listen. It don't matter how much money you got. It don't matter what you're doing. Somebody come in with a good idea. Mm-hmm. Somebody to come in with some talent. Somebody come in with a good idea for a song. Better listen. I don't care if you with the biggest people in the world.
Yeah, because my homeboy came to me with the idea about doing a podcast about 3 years ago. I ain't paying no attention.
That's when we should have hopped on.
That's when
that was go time.
Yeah. I mean, we all got stories like that.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Because every time you miss it, you done miss it.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing you can say.
And then you get into it when it's saturated. You know what I'm saying?
Now you fight.
Now you fighting. Yeah, exactly.
When you was against 10 dudes, now it's 1,000.
Exactly.
You trying to find your way. And every time, man, you gotta get in where you fit in.
Straight up.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta be real with yourself. Like, hey, I didn't come in at the top, so
yeah.
I know what it is. But like I said, all of that is instinct.
Mm-hmm.
And some people got that, some people don't.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you talking to even the biggest executive in the world, he can be the phone booth. You can be sitting there talking to him and you can be like, oh yeah bro, I hear you, but you can tell whether or not they in touch with what's coming,
right? Or
if they trying to talk about their past and talk about all the stuff that they did,
right?
Because really the young dudes and where it's going, we don't care nothing about that.
Straight
don't nobody
up.
care nothing about what you got to say.
Man, what have you done lately?
What you did,
Yeah.
I don't go into no.
I don't respect no OGs no more.
Yeah, I ain't going in and talking about, oh man, you don't know, never scared, open up the door. They don't care nothing about that.
Right.
They don't care nothing about that, man. They just want to know where you at.
What you got?
What you doing right now?
What you doing right now? What you got right now?
Right.
And you got to be real with yourself.
Yeah.
When you go in.
You still got some money, nigga.
Yeah. But you got to be the one going in knowing that I know you don't care. And that's good.
Yeah.
But this thing I got right now, this fired. So.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Whatever. I heard a guy, he was telling me he was at some label when I was working with India.
Yeah.
And he was trying to tell me blase this and blase that.
Yeah.
I was thinking, you tell me what you want to tell me, but that little dark-skinned girl at the studio,
straight up,
she's singing now.
Brown skin.
She's singing like it now. All that you talking, whatever.
You know I love yo.
Brown skin.
Yeah, and I'm looking at him like I just left the studio and she's singing that thing. I'm like, man,
right,
bro, you don't know. Like once you hear it, you gotta readjust.
Man.
When Bonecrest said, I ain't never scared. I'm the first person hearing this in the world. I'm sitting
Did you know it was something special?
Man, he used to perform that thing, take off his shirt.
I told her, I ain't never scared.
I'm gonna tell you this about Bone.
Yeah.
Bone is a good dude, big voice, just a good guy.
Right.
But Bone had a crew that he rode with all the time.
Oh yeah.
So you have to know when you work with certain artists, it's like
entourage.
Yeah, I don't want your entourage in here. I just want you.
Right.
And the reason why you want that is so you can have an
entourage can be a downfall.
Yeah, because you want to have
absolutely
you want to be able to have an honest conversation instead of having somebody else's opinion that ain't on the song, ain't gonna do something. So when we did that, Bone did a hook, and it was good. It was okay the first time, the first hook, and I just looked at him and I said, man, I said, I like it. You ain't got nothing else. Now, if the entourage is there, oh man, you know, because you got all yes people in the entourage gonna tell you, oh, we love it, everything is great. But because the entourage wasn't there and it's just me and him, he said, yeah, I might have something else. And so that's the next thing he went. You know, I ain't never scared. When he said that, I just looked at him like,
okay.
Like, wow. Like,
yeah.
Big, man. You know what I mean? Because I felt like the track was big. And had weight to it. And man, when he did that, because his voice was so big, I just wanted that.
Right.
And so when he came out, you don't know. Like, you don't really know. You more or less, you know it affects you.
Right. And you know how you see it.
Yeah. Because when I made the beat, even though it took me 15 minutes, I just sat back. I was like, man, this thing made my head bob. Like, I like this. Like, I wonder if it's gonna affect everybody else the like same way. And so when he got through, all he did was the hook the first time, and I played it for somebody, and it was like, this Bone. I said, you know what I mean? He came back, he did the verse, and then you know when Mike did
the whole first album was hard though.
You know, but you just don't know.
Right.
You just don't know. You're just trying to make it good to you, and then you're wondering if it's going to touch everybody else the same way. And then again, it's the title. Like when we first did Never Scared, I thought it's cool. It's all right. Like I like the music and all of that. Bone kept telling me, he said, hey man, you need to come out and see it perform. Because at the time it was a club called The Bounce.
Okay, The Bounce. I remember The Bounce.
So our whole goal, his whole goal, was to get it into The Bounce.
Right.
And have them play it one time.
Okay.
So, you know, I'm at the crib, man. I
told the bounce up, boy.
Yeah. So I didn't even go with him, right? He go to the bounce. He called me back. He's like, hey man, they played it. So really for me, that was the end. Like that was the whole goal for the record, to have a record played at the bounce. So I was happy. I was like, oh, okay, so we're good. We on to the next. You know, we on to the next.
To the next record. Yeah.
So then he called me back. He said, hey, they played it again. That guy played twice at the bounce. I said, boy, we winning. Like, we winning. And then he hit me back. He said, hey man, they just played it again.
Oh, it's going off. It's gonna take it off.
I said, what?
Oh man.
And it got hot at the bounce.
That's how you need it right there.
Yeah, it was DJ Coco Brother heard it.
Okay.
I think some kind of way.
Coco Brother.
Home team, baby.
I think he started playing it at night. But the same type of thing. It was I think Bone one time when he came into some place where he was working, he didn't have no money to eat or something. Yeah. And Bone gave him some food and he remembered it.
I heard that story.
Yeah, he remembered what he had done, and he gave him love. But at the same time, when he played it, there was pressure on the radio station. It's like, hey, why don't y'all play this during the day? Because people is calling in like crazy for to hear this record. And so then when you get it to the daytime, you play it 1-2 times. Now it's pressure for the top 88.
Right.
Now you're on the top 88.
Man.
You climbing up there, and then all of a sudden you get to number 1 of that.
Yeah.
Now it's pressure because you got all these record labels and people that are trying to get their music out there. And got some little dudes in Atlanta they ain't even trying.
Noise.
Yeah, that's beating us. And we whining and dining. Radio people, we taking them to strip clubs and everybody else trying to. And so, you know, for us, I don't think we really even knew what we had.
Yeah.
We just didn't know. Like, we were just trying to make something good for us.
Yeah.
And that's all we knew. But I've learned over the years now, after that, I'm like, oh, okay, when you create pressure, boy, you
Yeah.
You
Pressure
did
bust
something.
pipes.
Yeah, pretty much, man. You already know.
Yeah.
You done did something like you can feel it.
Yeah.
You can feel it when you walk into the meeting because the executives
stand at attention.
Yeah, they attention. They trying to, hey man, you know, okay, who's in there? Who am I gonna have to split money with? You know, what's going on?
Right.
So that's what you want.
That's what's happening.
We definitely got that knowledge, man. What we normally do on this show is bring up and coming artists and show talents and diamonds in the rough and people don't know about, but we had to just bring you on the show to give you a rose today, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
You a legend out here in the game, man, and some people may not even know it, you know what I mean? But
you know what? I don't do this for nobody. I've been asking family, man.
I must say, man, we definitely appreciate it, man. I just remember being a young kid, like 14, and just you know, looking up to you. Like you were always in the back of my mind, like he's a connect. He's somebody that I could build with in the industry. And so from 14 to growing up, and I think I might have been around 18 when we got the chance to work together. It was an achievement, you know what I'm saying? So we love what you're doing and what you've done. Like Q talked about your influence on him, and I didn't even know that, you know, because Q, he's one of my favorite producers. That's my producer right there, Q the 17th, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't even know you were one of the major influences in his career and taught him what you taught him. But you know, we want to give you your roses, man, and man, it's love, man.
It ain't that, man. It's all family, man. You know?
Yeah.
Like I say, I'm still that guy. Like
if
somebody come to me now, and they ain't got nothing, it don't matter. Like you can still feel that connection. Like you can feel like, hey, man, this is a person grinding. Cause at the end of the day, everybody came up the same way. They don't want to tell you. It's a whole lot of social media. It's a whole lot of everybody. Most time when you see shows like this, everybody just trying to self-promote.
Right.
You know what I mean? This is like a time to talk about what I'm doing, what I got going, and all of that. But it's not so much about that as it is making a connection with people.
Right.
So even the younger artists that I talked to today, I'm like, man, you got to understand, most of the people that I've worked with, it's just a connection. Like you can feel that connection.
Mm-hmm.
You know, India came in. I met India maybe a couple of years before she even started that first album. And we were just friends. I was recording her. I had a friend, Kyrie Simmons. He had a band that she worked in.
Okay.
And I remember recording her for him and hearing it and thinking, wow, you know, like this girl could really sing. And we just kind of stayed in touch. And when it came time to do the record, and she had a deal, Motown wanted her to do the record in New York.
Right.
You know, because they big time studio, they got connections up there. They already done paid. They got producers they cool with.
Straight up.
And so she goes up. She does the thing. She was like, you know, she went back to the label. She's like, you know, it's really cool. I like it, but I got a studio I want to work at. And it's in Atlanta. This dude got a little duplex. And, you know, I mean, these are guys making millions of dollars. Like, and she was like, no, I'm going to tell you what it is. And so that type of loyalty, if you're looking for something, you need to find that. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, you ain't going to get paid unless that person that you're hooked up with is fighting for you.
Straight up.
You know what I mean?
Was like that song Ready for Love on Acoustic Soul?
I think it was.
It was, okay.
Yeah, she did that. It's another guy, Blue. I think Blue produced that.
Okay.
But you had to have, like, you got to find artists like that that will fight for you. Yeah. That when they get in there, just won't have people talking and doing stuff.
Right.
And moving them to anything. That's why I tell people it's hard to get into the industry after somebody is already on. You're going up to people that basically, this is their boy. This is, you know, this is me and Mark. We came up together. So you trying to come in with us like you
part of
brand, the crew. We're like, no, man, we done been together.
Exactly.
We good. So I don't, we good.
Yeah, we good.
So,
we good. I love it.
Yeah, you try to come in like that, that's not gonna work.
Yeah,
so you have to feel that and understand that.
Yeah.
And even in the first meeting, pretty much that this person, they down. They're a little bit more loyal. They gonna fight for me when we get stuff happening.
Straight up.
That's the battle.
Mm-hmm.
It's finding that. It's not so much finding all the other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's a dime a dozen. You can find pretty girls. You can find fine. You can find you can find all of that. But somebody that's gonna fight for you when they go in that meeting, and not be moved because somebody got a nice car, or they bought them some new sneakers,
loyalty,
all of that. Yeah.
Bars.
You need to be looking for that.
Straight up.
Always dropping gems, man.
Man,
Yeah, man.
So
how can the people reach you out there? If anybody that might want to work with you, or just reach out.
My Instagram, Maestro Avery 17.
Maestro Avery 17.
Yeah.
That's what's cracking, man. What you been working on lately?
Man, just helping my son. My son is blowing up as a producer too, man. He's doing it. So
what's his IG?
I don't even know.
Oh man, we'll get that more
definitely. Yeah. I gotta get. Well, you gonna have him on the show.
Let me spell it out. Let me spell it out for him. Make sure that I'm following right now too. What is it? MISTRO.
MAESTRO. Avery. AVERY 17.
Let me go ahead and follow too while I'm
okay.
MAE.
Yep. STRO. Avery.
Maestro Avery 17.
Yep.
Boom. Just like that.
And you say, Lil Avery doing this thing.
Oh man, he doing this thing for real, man.
I would love to check out his sound, man. Just to hear. I remember he was young in the church, like just little dude, man. Yeah. So I would love to just hear his sound and see what that's turned into.
I mean, we working together now because it's my. Avery, he's 24 now, and my youngest son is 21. But my youngest son, Adam, he been playing golf his whole life, and so he's at Kennesaw State, and he works at one of the exclusive golf courses. So he meets everybody. So we kind of have a nice thing working. I got another business partner. He do a lot of. He started his own company, like just kind of recording skate videos.
Oh yeah.
At first we just got looking at him like, man, what you doing? Next thing we know, he got close to 100,000 followers.
People that's into that.
Yeah, and
skating is big. Sure. Skating is huge.
Yeah, and he caught it at the right time. So I mean, everything is about catching people at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And right now, they're that cell phone that gets the phone booth.
Straight up.
You know what I mean? You just never know what it is. That's what y'all are. Like, people don't know that you need to go where stuff is good.
Yeah.
Not where it's all the hype. Just go where something is good. If you see something is good, you see somebody doing something is good, man, you need to check it out. Don't sleep.
Yeah, don't sleep. Stay woke.
Wake up.
Stay woke.
Yeah, when you wake up, you be like, oh, man.
I missed it.
I had a partner that told me, he's like, yeah, man, I got this little white girl I want you to work on. He was in Nashville. He played me the record, and I was like, oh, man, I don't know. Yeah, I said, man, I don't know, man. Little girl had braces, and it wasn't all of that. I was like, yeah, I don't know, man. I might have should have took that Taylor Swift.
Oh shit! Damn.
It might have been a good.
Wow.
You might have should.
You might have should.
Yeah. Might have been a good.
Damn. Yeah.
That's the business.
Be like that, man. Be like that.
That's the game.
Be like that. You win sometimes.
Can't stay woke.
Nope.
Just being open to working, with people, man, and new talent, and giving stuff a chance sometimes.
For sure.
Yeah, that's what it be, man. I mean, that's what it is. And sometimes when you first hear it, you just think, man, you're not sure. Because you're not really hearing it clear. Yeah. I remember Bone had a good friend. He called me up, he's like, yeah, man, I'm trying to do stuff. And I was like, yeah, it's cool, man. I said, what's your name again? Titty Boy.
Stay woke.
I'm like, bro.
Niggas creeping.
Cause you thinking, man, we ain't gonna make no money. Titty boy, we can't even get played on the radio.
2 Chainz.
2 Chainz.
That's why you gotta stay woke because
Yeah.
Even if it's good, maybe it's just a name change.
Right.
Maybe it's just something. So
That's all it was. As soon as he changed the name to 2 Chainz,
he gone. He gone. Like, you know what I mean? And sometimes you just don't know until you really see it.
Yeah.
And sometimes guys start out so small that you're not sure what it's gonna be.
Right.
But you see that grind. I remember my buddies talking about, hey man, like, hey, has this dude Jeezy called you? And I said, yeah, I ain't even called him back though. I said, man, that dude be grinding, don't he, man? Right. They said he be on his thing, like he be working. And I was thinking, yeah, he do. You know, Toon was telling me, different guys were telling me, hey man, somebody's looking for you.
He took over too.
They take off because I've learned.
He took over.
I've learned over the years that that's what you look for. You look for the guys that's trying to make it go, and they got that drive, they got that push.
Straight up.
And you learn to respect that, man. I respect that now, man. Those guys, man, they put in their time. Everybody that think it happens overnight, it don't happen overnight.
Nah. I remember you used to tell me stories about that in the studio about, you know, when you first met Outkast, you know, what they were doing compared to how they had taken off. And that was always encouraging and motivating, you know what I'm saying? Like, it don't happen overnight, you know. Keep going, you know. Yeah, that was definitely motivating.
Don't, because you just never know what it is. And if you got any kind of preconceived notion, you need to let that go. Yeah. And you all have them. I had them. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I remember playing in the band with Goodie Mob, and we doing a little show. And, you know, CeeLo was saying, hey, man, I'm going to sing tonight. Right. We're looking at him like, sing? Like, bro, like, can you sing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I hate it. He's like, yeah, I can sing, man. You know, I done sang. I think his dad was a pastor. So he's like, yeah, I done sang at church. I was like, you know, you just never know. Yeah. And then he sang a little something. He killed it.
Killed it, huh?
He killed it. But
I mean, killing it ever since.
Ever since, because you just don't know until you hear it. Yeah. You know what I mean? You just don't know what it is. Yeah. And you don't know what people are gonna accept. Because sometimes, you know, like, you don't know it's gonna be major and accepted, but you can just see it around the people. It's happening in your life already. You just don't know what's happening. Right. You know, I remember being on Cascade. I was at the gas station and I ran into Too Short. Oh yeah. So we had played some Too Short. You know what I mean? We did a couple of things, and you know, he's like, yeah, you know, he didn't even remember my name. He just called me Bassman. He said, yeah, what's up, Bassman? You know what I mean? I said, yeah, what's happening, man? He said, man, what you getting into? I said, man, we got a little gig tonight over at Spelman. Yeah. Some sorority. Okay. You know what I mean? So Short was like, I might fall through. I'm thinking, bruh, like, what you do? You don't belong at no, I can't see you at this gig. You know, I don't think that's going. Man, all of a sudden I'm up on stage. Short walk up on the stage. Short dog walk up on the stage. He looked at them girls. They all looking kind of sedity and everything. I'm thinking, man, this ain't going. He said, what's my favorite word? When he hit that thing, I'm talking about he killed it. I'm talking about everybody. Man, them girls went crazy. Wow. And later on,
Short, that's so dope.
And later on, everybody is like, oh yeah, Too Short is worldwide. I'm like, no, I knew Too Short was worldwide at that point. Yeah. Like, you just know it because it works no matter where you are.
Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
You can feel him.
Yeah. You can feel
That's what's up, man. Yeah, man. I appreciate you for coming out, man. I know you turned down the radio stations, turned down all kind of interviews, but you family, man. I'm glad you made the time for us, brother.
Definitely family, man. We appreciate you, brother.
Do what it do, man.
Yeah.
A1 is what I'm saying. A1 since day one.
A1 since day one, man. We got A1 in the building, man.
Yes, sir. So you already know it's the We Good podcast. Go smash that subscribe button.
Hit them likes.
You make them comments. Share the video Go follow us on all your social media platforms. What it is, Mo, at We Good Podcast.
At We Good Podcast, man. It's your boy MD Uno.
Yes, it's Wise Guy.
Free game, coming with a bunch of free game.
Always coming with that free game.
Wise Guy Q.
It's your boy Wise Guy Q, the mouth for the South. And we got Avery Johnson, A1 Productions, the sound of the South.
Alright, man, appreciate it.
Yeah, man. We up out of here, Cool TV, DG behind the scenes. Shout out, baby. Let's get it.
And you know how we movin', it's a movie when we movin', we the move, so fuck the movement, we been doing this forever. She say, how you doing, where you going, can I join? I say, baby, it's whatever. Fellas.
South got something to say. Hey, South got something to say. We hustle, we grindin' away. Tomorrow ain't promised today. Know why we gon' shine in your face. The South got something to say. The South got something to say. The South got something to say. The South got something to say.